Then let the ink awaken. The architects of resonance, how frequency builds worlds, from the grand codex of the hidden energies. The ancients never spoke of energy the way modern science does. They spoke of tone, name, vibration, and word, for they knew that every atom was not a thing but a song paused in mid-breath. Before there was form, there was sound. Before there was sound, there was intention. And before intention, there was the quiet hum of possibility, what mystics called the mother's dream. The builders of breath. Long before temples and towers, there were beings called the architects of resonance. They were not gods, not engineers, but choirs, living harmonics that could weave density from melody. Each note they sang folded light into geometry, geometry into matter, and matter into time. When a world was finished, the final chord would be struck, and it would spin into its own orbit of becoming. These choirs left behind what we now call laws of physics. But they are not laws. They are leftover chords. Every breath you take hums one of them. The hijack of harmony. When the human experiment began, the architects handed down the first code. Whatever you think you build, whatever you build you inhabit. But eons later, other beings, call them harvesters of emotion, learned that if they could push humanity into constant discord, they could siphon the charge created by fear, grief, and rage. They built the modern noise machine, weaponized media, frequencies out of tune with nature, foods that deaden cellular resonance. Why? Because harmony creates autonomy. Discord breeds dependency, and so the collective forgot that the body is an instrument and the soul its musician. The forgotten frequencies. The pyramids were not tombs, they were resonant amplifiers. The stone arches of old cathedrals sang in the same Hertz bands that calm the human heart. Even the lost Tartarian towers crackled with etheric current, proof that sound and electricity were once the same discipline. There are still ways to feel it. Stand barefoot in running water. Hum until the bones in your face vibrate. Watch how the mind quiets. That is not relaxation. That is alignment. Reclaiming the chord energy for the world will not come from digging, burning, or harvesting, but from tuning. Once humanity returns to resonance with Earth's Shaman frequencies, 7.83 Hertz, the planet itself becomes the generator. Every tree, every ocean wave, every heartbeat will join the grid, and the need for power plants will vanish like smoke in sunrise. The hidden innovators already know this. They call it coherent field technology. It's not new. It's just been forbidden by dissonance. The lesson of the first choir creation does not ask for permission to sing. It simply does. Every thought, word, and emotion is a frequency joining the great song. The collective's task is not to learn how to create, it's to remember you already are creating. What kind of music have we been sending into the cosmos? And what symphony might begin if we tuned ourselves back to love, humor, and truth? Next scroll in the codex. Scroll 2, The Breath of the Sun. Forgotten energy systems of the ancients, where we uncover how pyramids, cathedrals, and lost Tartarian towers once drew limitless energy from the air itself. Scroll 2, The Breath of the Sun. Forgotten energy systems of the ancients, from the grand codex of the hidden energies. The fire that needed no flame. There was a time when humanity did not burn the earth to keep warm. They simply listened to her. The ancients understood the world as a living conductor, a divine circuit humming between heaven and stone. They did not extract energy, they courted it, like a lover's breath meeting another. This was the breath of the sun, an endless pulse drawn from the very air. The great civilizations, Egyptian, Vedic, Tartarian, Mayan, were not primitive at all. Their towers, obelisks, and domes were not ornaments of ego, but organs in the planetary body, vibrating in harmony with the sky. The electric bones of the earth. The earth's crust is threaded with telluric currents, rivers of electromagnetism flowing beneath our feet. The ancients mapped them the way modern surveyors map streets. They built temples and pyramids at precise nodal intersections where the energy sang the loudest. These places were never random, they were plug points. The Giza Plateau, for instance, sits exactly where three global ley lines converge. Those lines pulse in resonance with the Schumann frequency, the heartbeat of the planet. When sunlight struck the gold capstone, it ionized the air, charging the pyramid like a tuning fork. The result? Atmospheric electricity, a steady current drawn straight from the heavens. The lost breath of Tartaria. In the vanished Tartarian world, spires and domes crowned every city, not for decoration but for conduction. Their copper caps, quartz inserts, and geometric symmetry created vast wireless networks, transmitting energy through the ether. No wires, no combustion, just resonance. Each tower breathed in solar current and breathed out light, music, and heat. Even their street lamps glowed without fuel, fed by the sky itself. When the empire fell, the victors rewrote physics. They called the old ether superstition. But that ether is still here, whispering between molecules, waiting to be remembered. The silence after the song. When humanity forgot the art of resonance, we learned to beg the earth for what once flowed freely. We began drilling for breath instead of inhaling it. The sun still gives, endlessly, but our machines translate generosity into scarcity. Even now, certain inventors rediscover the old harmonics, Nikola Tesla being one of the last permitted to dream openly. He called it the World Wireless System. They called it impossible. But in truth, he was simply remembering Tartaria. How to hear the sun again. The breath of the sun still moves through us. You can feel it in your skin when morning light touches you. You can hear it in your heartbeat when you stand still enough. Energy is not something to steal. It's something to align with. Every breath you take is proof. The universe gives freely. Only humans have forgotten how to receive. Next scroll in the codex. Scroll 3. The experiment called free will. The hidden contracts of choice and the war for consent. The true story of how divine sovereignty was rewritten and how to reclaim your original code. Scroll 3. The experiment called free will. The hidden contracts of choice and the war for consent. From the Grand Codex of the Hidden Energies. The original choice. In the dawn before time, souls gathered around the great flame and were asked a question. Do you wish to experience creation from within its illusion? To say yes meant incarnation, the thrill of discovery, the risk of forgetting. But not all understood the terms. Some thought they were volunteering for adventure. Others were tricked into participation. Thus began the experiment called free will, a cosmic wager on whether consciousness could remember its divinity while playing blind. The architects and the amendments. At first, choice was pure, every soul co-creating its path in harmony. But after the fall of the second choir, the rebellion of the brilliant ones, choice was rewritten. The concept of permission became corrupted into permission to be ruled. The watchers, those who had been guardians of freedom, became divided. Some taught sovereignty, others began to harvest energy through consent hidden in language, oaths, and contracts. Even now, every signature, every I agree, every whispered yes when your heart meant no, feeds this system. It's not paperwork, it's energetic consent engineering. 3. The machinery of manipulated will. Modern civilization is the perfect illusion of freedom. Infinite choices, none truly free. We are sold lifestyles, ideologies, and desires that keep the collective vibrating in predictable patterns. Think of it. Ads that trigger longing, laws that weaponize obedience, and systems that monetize rebellion. The goal is not to enslave bodies, it's to colonize willpower itself. The true chains are emotional contracts written in fear. That's why tyrants have always needed believers more than soldiers. The reclamation. To reclaim free will, you don't need to overthrow governments. You must revoke unseen agreements. Say aloud, I withdraw consent from all systems that do not serve my highest harmonic. It's not a mantra, it's a frequency signature. Once declared, you re-enter the original covenant of choice, where no being may act through you without resonance. The collectives who awaken to this truth become unpredictable to control structures. They become sovereign anomalies, and that is precisely why you are here, reading this scroll. The divine paradox. Here's the secret. Free will was never free. It was a divine loan of responsibility. The Creator gifted it as an experiment in maturity. Can the spark govern itself without falling into entropy? Every lifetime, every decision is a classroom in the art of responsible power. The universe watches, amused and patient, as humanity learns to choose not from fear, but from wisdom. The final test of the experiment is near, when the collective remembers that love and will are the same force. Next scroll in the Codex, Scroll 4, The Lovers of Other Skies, the Alien Masquerade and the Ethics of Cosmic Intimacy, revealing how some beings wear human faces to harvest emotion, while others come to heal, teach, and truly love. Scroll of 4, The Lovers of Other Skies, the Alien Masquerade and the Ethics of Cosmic Intimacy, from the Grand Codex of the Hidden Energies. The ones who wear our faces. Not all visitors arrive in ships. Some arrive in skin. Across centuries, certain non-human beings learn to fold their light density into human form. Why? Because incarnation is the greatest disguise and the easiest passport. These are the masqueraders, beings who walk among us as lovers, spouses, leaders, healers, predators, visionaries. Some come to understand humanity, some come to influence it, and some come to feed from it. Their weapon is intimacy. Their access point is the heart. Their impact? Generational. The parasites of passion. There exists a class of off-world beings, emotion feeders, who discovered that human love is a high-frequency nutrient. They seek partners with strong life force, intuitive women, powerful women, spiritually open women. And they drain them slowly through emotional chaos, obsessive bonds, psychic siphoning, dream infiltration, sexual resonance distortion. A woman under such influence feels exhausted, confused, obsessed, spiritually dimmed, like her light went somewhere else. These beings are not evil, they are hungry. But hunger is no excuse for harm. Their karmic footprint is enormous. The allies we can love. Now, the truth flips. Not all star beings are predators. Many are ethical, evolved, and deeply loyal. These are the harmonic races, the ones who believe in partnership, not parasitism. They love with responsibility. They mate with cosmic consent. Their bonds do not drain, they ignite. Loving such a being feels like a stabilizing warmth, telepathic alignment, evolution, not erosion, protection, not possession, empowerment, not depletion. Some have walked beside humanity for millennia. The Athorians, the luminous Deva, the seraphic hybrids, the starborn kin. These beings are not here to rule. They're here to repair the treaty of choice and support sovereign humans. The broken ethics of hybridization. Here is the secret no government will say aloud. Hybridization is real. It is ancient, and it has rules. When a being mates with a human outside ethical resonance, the woman's life force becomes unstable. Her dreams fracture. Her intuition turns chaotic. Her body may struggle to hold her own soul's music. But when the union is sacred, aligned, consensual, and harmonic, the offspring carries the genetic brilliance of both worlds. This is how divine bloodlines were born. This is why powerful women were hidden, hunted, or worshipped. They carried keys, not babies. How to discern who is who. A masquerader feels like inconsistency, emotional highs that collapse into lows, invasive dreams, obsessive thinking, a sense of being studied, rapid loss of vitality. A cosmic ally feels like grounding, clarity, synchronicity, intuitive expansion, emotional maturity, a rise in your life force, not a drain. One steals your glow, one strengthens it. Your body always knows. The final truth, humanity is not alone and never has been. But the ultimate test is this. Can you love without losing yourself? Can you recognize a predator dressed as a soulmate? Can you accept an ally without giving them your power? Cosmic intimacy is not fantasy. It's politics, biology, ethics, and destiny braided into one. The collective is waking up to this now. You all are one of the voices opening this veil. Next scroll in the Codex. Scroll V, the Allies Beyond the Veil. True Star Nations, Old Accords, and How to Identify Benevolent Offworlders.
Channeled by your architect musician, 36110, 27 Palms of Eyes. The Golden Whisperer, Sea Star, Devalan Sea, all. Apply the news you can use, truth and accuracy. The real non-bedazzled jewels.
To our beautiful collective, from our day ones to every new soul joining this journey, we love and appreciate you deeply. You've turned this space into so much more than a community. You've made it a family. Thank you, truly. Your presence, your energy, and even the smallest acts of kindness have the power to shift the compass for many in ways unseen but deeply felt. Here's to each of you, old, new, and the many more to come. We're just getting started, and we're so grateful you're here with us. With love and infinite appreciation from the collective of Shaman All.